Hey everyone, it's Mandy. As I promised, I am documenting our journey through the Ultimate Reset, and this is my boyfriend Tommy, and he's doing it with me. So I figured, there it is. So I figured I would have him join in on this little vlog and some of the future ones as well so that he can share his experiences so you have two different perspectives of the Ultimate Reset. So basically what the Ultimate Reset is it's a 21-day cleanse with 3 different phases, and we started phase 1 on Saturday with the intention of doing a vlog every day, but things have been busy. So going into it, I was kind of worried about the things that I would be giving up, like chocolate and wine and cheese, but then as I was grocery shopping, I started getting excited about the different new things that I would be trying. We took before pictures on Saturday morning when we started, and we also weighed ourselves, and Tommy got a DEXA scan, which I'll have him talk about in 1 second. But starting out, I weighed 124.5 pounds, and I did measurements as well because I also finished Les Mills Pump a few days before, so that was my after and then before the reset. So Tommy, do you want to talk about your DEXA?
Yeah, so I get a body composition performed about every 4 months. The DEXA is the most qualified form of body composition. Next would be a bod pod, but the least is calipers. And with this, I was able to see that I have 13% body fat and I weigh 182 pounds. I've lost 6% body fat in the last year. So to end the year off, I thought I'd try this out and to see what kind of gains I would make in 21 days. So.
Okay, and what have you been doing in the last year? By the way, that's for Fujio, and he's acting crazy right now. What have you done in the last year that you've lost the 6%?
I've been following the Primal Blueprint, and I do P90X, P90X2, and I did Insanity and Asylum. So those are what I did in the last year. And I did CrossFit a little bit. And
are you eating anything else different or drinking anything else different? Shakeology. Okay. Also, we should mention you get these sweet wristbands, bracelets, for when you do the reset to remind you to stick to it. So on Saturday morning for breakfast, we had 2 scrambled eggs and steamed kale. It was part of the menu to have toast as well, but since we don't eat bread, because I have also been following the Primal Blueprint, we just gave ourselves more kale, and it was delicious. Our first kale experience, pretty much.
Good, yeah.
It was really good. And then for lunch, we had microgreen salad, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else was with that?
The dressing that you made.
Oh yeah, and I made creamy garlic dressing, which was delicious. And then for dinner, we had salmon, baked salmon, and asparagus, and a couple of red potatoes. And so one thing that we have, or 2 things that we've learned so far on day 1, is that it's really hard to be social without food. Mm-hmm. Earlier in the morning, one of our friends and his wife called Tommy and invited us to hang out, and we went to the outlet mall, and we were already tempted to go out to eat. We were in salmon, but it was day 1, and it was already difficult because we had to find something that we could do without, eating or drinking things we weren't supposed to. And then the second thing that we learned, so what we ended up doing was going to the outlet mall, and we went to Panera and watched them eat, and then we went to a movie, which was fine, and we came home and made dinner after, which was at like 10 o'clock, and we didn't read the directions in advance and realize that we were supposed to marinate for an hour. So that was one thing that's definitely a tip for those of you starting the reset, is make sure you read the food prep instructions so that you know exactly how long it's going to take, so that you don't end up just throwing all the marinade stuff on top of it and cooking it on the stove like we did.
That's right.
In addition to the food, there are also supplements that we take. So a half hour before we eat anytime for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we drink 12 to 32 ounces of water with Mineralize, which is Himalayan sea salt, in it. And then we take an Optimize tablet, and we also put Oxygenize in the water, which delivers more oxygen to our blood. And then we also have Alkalinize, which is like the shot of green grass kind of stuff. which is kind of gross, and you're supposed to drink it with more water. So basically what I've been doing, have you been doing it too, where you just have it a little bit and then have the rest of water?
Yeah, I just kind of rinse it out with water after I'm done with the first shot of it.
Yeah, so if you mix it in something smaller and then drink the rest of the water separate from the alkalinize, it's a lot more manageable than drinking like 12 ounces of salty grass flavored stuff. So that's not my favorite part so far, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And then yesterday for breakfast we had oatmeal with blueberries in it and maple syrup in the oatmeal, and then yogurt with honey in it, which is really delicious. And then another challenge happened when I had to go to Chicago for a photo shoot, and Tommy went to a friend's house to watch the football game. And in Chicago, I had to pack my lunch and my dinner, which was kind of tough. And they had food at the photo shoot, bagels and cream cheese, which was really tempting, but I withstood the temptation. Lunch was a Greek salad with homemade Greek dressing, which was really delicious. And do you want to talk about your football experience?
Yeah, so I definitely would say that the weekends were the most difficult for me to follow eating healthy, mostly because of the surroundings, and obviously work keeps me occupied during the week. But I was at a buddy's house watching the Packers game and the Bears game, so I was there for a prolonged period of time, and they had pretty much anything you can think of. Things I wouldn't eat if I wasn't doing the reset, but a lot of things that I still would probably on any given weekend, especially with a bunch of people hanging out. They had Bloody Marys, they had pulled chicken and buffalo pasta salad, buffalo chicken pasta salad, anything you can think of, cookies, ice cream, you name it. And thankfully I wasn't sitting right next to it, but it was kind of unflattering to drink my green shot of grass instead of having a cookie at the end. But it was definitely the biggest challenge I've had so far. And the second day in versus today, where all I had to do was be at work and kind of just follow the plan. So it was a little bit better today.
All right. And then for dinner we had black beans, and it was supposed to be rice, but we substituted quinoa because it has more protein, so it's a little bit more in line with the primal way of eating that we're used to. It's been different because with this first week, there's a lot more grains, wouldn't you say, than we're normally used to eating. But we're still trying to respect the process and still follow it. So it was black beans and quinoa, and then we also had steamed kale with that again, and we had guacamole and salsa on top of the black beans and quinoa, which was, again, delicious.
Very good.
Yes. Then today for breakfast, we had the same thing as we did on Saturday, so the scrambled eggs and steamed kale. And then for lunch, it was, what did we have for lunch?
We had the microgreen salad.
Oh yeah, microgreen salad again.
And the lentil lime.
Oh yeah,
salad.
And lentil lime salad, which was good. I had never had lentils before, but I enjoyed it. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was different. It was kind of like mung beans, if I had to say.
Oh yeah, mung beans. It's a Filipino dish that Tommy's familiar with, and I have since tried, and yeah, I thought it was similar to. I didn't register that, but yeah. I agree. And then for dinner tonight, we had nori rolls, which I found out that I have a newfound respect for the people at Screaming Tuna and other sushi establishments, because my first few rolls were really unattractive and messy. But they were good. They had smoky tempeh strips, which is bacon, which I thought was good, and avocado in there. We also had cucumber salad and miso soup.
Yep.
So what would you say is the best meal you've had so far?
The best meal I've had, I have to say the thing I think of the most. I mean, they've all been pretty good. Tonight, I've actually had to say, I've been full after every meal, which I was surprised about. But I think I really liked breakfast the other day, where we had the fruit and the oatmeal and the yogurt. It was just kind of all around pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite too. And I think just about everything we've had during the reset has been something that I would plan on cooking again in the future, not during the reset, because I really liked everything and I've liked trying a whole bunch of new things. What would you say the biggest challenge has been?
The challenge is, like I said, is the social aspect. I mean, as long as, I would never think of going out to eat during this all the time, but there's a lot of social pressures. Just even after work today, my coworker wanted to go to Qdoba, and even before I would have went and just kind of try to follow my own guidelines, but it's just people want to go out to eat socially more than you might even think you go out to eat, and you wouldn't even know it until you tried to cook 21 days in a row.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Meal.
It's been really fun cooking with you.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it. Yeah, so we've definitely spent a lot of time together in the kitchen the last 3 days, which has been fun. For me, in addition to the social challenge, I've found that like just going places that I usually treat myself to a snack has been difficult. You drink distilled water during the reset, so I went to replenish that and to get some more fruit for breakfast tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I'm at Whole Foods. Like, sometimes I cheat with their samples. I'll be like, oh, I'll have a tiny, tiny piece of bread just because it's small and I'm not buying a whole loaf so I can have some. Or I'll buy myself, some dark chocolate or something like that. And it's kind of like a reflex almost. And that would be something that I could not do. Or at the Outlet Mall, they have a Ghirardelli store and they had a big sign, come in for a free sample. And I'm like, oh, I can't. But overall, everything has been great. We will check in with you soon, either myself or Tommy and I. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon.
Thanks.